Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to solve number 11 on the homework. I apologize for it being blurry, but it was the only way I could get it the way I wanted it on here. Okay, so if you guys look, right over here, you have an exponent of a -1. I can turn that to a positive exponent by taking the reciprocal of everything that's in here inside your parentheses. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rewrite this as its reciprocal. So I'm going to say my numerator is now going to have 12x to the -1, y to the 9th. My denominator is going to have 5x to the 3rd, y to the -5th. Now, that turns this -1 into a +1. Anything raised to the first power is just itself. So I really don't need to deal with that anymore. And I can evaluate everything that's just inside your parentheses. So if you start with looking at the numbers, you have 12 over 5. You can't divide a common factor out of that, so I'm going to leave 12 in my numerator and put 5 in my denominator where it is, and I'm not going to touch it. They both have a positive exponent of 1. You don't need to move them. I'm now going to evaluate my x's. When you're dividing powers with the same base, keep your base, subtract your exponents. So it's going to be -1 minus 3. And I'm going to do the same thing with my y's. Keep my base, which is my y, subtract your exponents. 9 minus a -5. Now, look what happened here. I subtracted a negative, which in turn becomes an addition problem, so it's 9 plus 5. Now, I can continue on my way. I'm still not going to do anything with the 12 or the 5. They're going to stay where they are. X is going to now have an exponent of a -4. Y is going to have an exponent of 14. I'm not done. I can't leave this negative exponent here. So I'm going to take this whole x term, bring it down to my denominator. I'm taking its reciprocal, and it's going to change my exponent to a positive number. So my final answer is going to be 12 y to the 14th over 5x to the 4th. And there you go. Okay, so now on this one, I'm going to teach you guys how to go ahead and solve number 13 on the homework. They want you to keep your answers in scientific notation, which means it's going to have the form it's in. Now to start with, everything in this first parentheses is being multiplied by everything in this second parentheses. So I am going to take my 5 and my 7.2. They're just numbers, that's all they are. We're going to multiply those together. So in my first set of parentheses, I am going to have 5 times 7.2. My second set of parentheses, if you look, you have a 10 to the -2 multiplied by 10 to the -5. These have the same base. So you're going to multiply these together, you're going to keep your base, which is 10, and you're going to add your exponents. So -2 plus a -5. Now, if I simplify this, 5 times 7.2, I believe, is 36, times, now I need to simplify this, 10 to the -2 minus 5. That's going to give me, keep my base, simplify my exponents, -7. I'm not done yet though, because this number right here needs to be greater than 1 but less than 10. So I have to take the decimal point that currently is right here at the end, and I have to move it so it's between the 3 and the 6, because 3.6 is greater than 1 but less than 10. Since I made 36 smaller by making it 3.6, I need to make this 10 to the -7th power bigger by adding 1. If I make one side smaller, I got to make the other piece bigger. So to make it bigger, you add to it. -7 plus 1 is going to give you a -6. This is what you should have for your final answer for that one.